Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today here on YOUCANIC we have a 2014 Volkswagen Tiguan, and on this Volkswagen Tiguan we're going to go over the process of replacing your front brakes and rotors. This is just the educational purpose. We are not actually replacing any components because these are still in good working order. So to start with, you'll raise up your vehicle, one side or both sides, but support it with jack stands, and you'll remove the tire, the front tire. This is the left side or the driver's side, and so the tire has been removed, and I've also turned the steering wheel to the left to be able to give us more access to remove the components that we need to. So now that we're there, we'll be able to remove these two bolts here that can remove the caliper up, and then there's two bolts for the carrier, and there's an electric connector that goes into a brake pad, and that is your wear sensor. And so we'll need to undo that electric connector. To start with, you do have right here on your rotor, we have our T30 set screw or bolt, and so we just remove that. Also on the front of the brake here, we've got clips. We'll remove them. Remove that. This is a spring clip, and we'll reuse that unless your kit comes with a new one. We'll also need to depress the caliper a bit. Now we're going to remove these two bolts, which are under a little cap cover. So remove these caps, and then it's an Allen in there for the glide pin slash Okay, so those are all loosened up, and then we'll undo this electric connector up top here. And that's the one that goes to the brake pad. Now with that all undone, so we have our brake caliper rolled up here. We have the brake pad that's inside here. So this one is clips in there. I'll just need to pull it out. Like I said, this is the one with the wear sensor on it, and it's embedded into the brake pad itself. So when you buy your brake pads, they'll come with the electric connector to be able to reconnect up there. So when you're replacing it, because your brake pad material is going to be thicker than what came out, you'll need to depress this caliper. So the caliper has been depressed. Now you'll want to remove the glide pins, clean them up, and then reapply a little bit of caliper grease. Okay, so we've done what we need to with the caliper portion itself, and so we're going to set that aside. Now we'll need to remove the carrier so that we can remove the brake rotor. And that's a size 21. So with those bolts removed, we can now remove the carrier and then be able to get the rotor to come off. So with the rotor removed, we'll clean this up a little bit. A wire brush or do the same thing on the carrier, where the brakes slide. And then you'll take your new rotor, set it on, you put that set screw in and snug it up. And if the set screw is not here, or you've had to drill it out, you can just use a regular lug nut to be able to hold this on for the process. So we've done that. We've got our carrier. We can install that. Those are our .21 size bolts. All right, we have those tightened up, and then we have our brake pads. So we install the one on the outside, and then the one that goes on the inside up here is where these little tabs gotta click in there and lock it into place. Alright, it's locked into place. Then you're able to rotate this down. Line everything up. We've got those number 7s for the carriers. Tighten those up, and then make sure you connect the electric connector there, put that back into its locking place, make sure that's free, because we got to put that clip back on. Just by start it here. Tap that into place. Brake, all the brake pads, the rotors on, clips on. Make sure that this is free and not going to get smashed in between anywhere, and everything's tight and snugged up. And now you would be able to put your front tire back on, put it on the ground, torque it to spec, and then make sure that you pump the brakes to close in the calipers for that little bit of extra gap that we put in there by depressing them to put the new ones in. And that would be how you replace your front brakes and rotors on a 2014 Volkswagen Tiguan. And repeat on the other side, just the other side wouldn't have the electric wear pattern or wear sensor built into the pad. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.